I might be saying something that's too important and too significant for Facebook's ears pertaining to what goes on in the NCAA and these student athletes. So I apologize for that. But like I was saying before, these scenarios where these athletes continue to get put in situations where you're at college and you want to say, or talk about how you guys are going to do things and how they're going to have this great education, how they're going to have these connections for the rest of their lives. You just look at every year. Every year is a situation where something changes, and at the end of the day, no one is actually doing their math or the research to figure out, you know what? That's not true. No one is being held accountable. But like I said, I'm happy to say that we're working with quite a few people right now to do certain things. One, to actually monitor and keep like I said, monitoring when these things happen in certain universities and start to rate them. For example, what coaches respond best to families? What kid graduates the most at this university? Don't talk to me about the grade point average when you're basically using the grade point average of the other 15, preferred walk-ons who don't ever touch the field and got a 4.4 GPA. Tell everybody how you got a high graduation rate and how you got all these academic All-Americans. Don't tell me about how literally, you can say that it's a full scholarship and everything is free, but yet once you get on campus, you got to move your stuff 3 times throughout the year because they didn't tell you that literally we don't have, you got to move out the dorms, or if you get a certain GPA, you got to move off campus. All these things that are not talked about, and sometimes these kids aren't even prepared for. A lot of these parents send these kids off at 17 years old and trust them into the university's hands. And the first thing that these kids get when they get back on campus is a beer. It's a fact. And then in the day, a coach can get upset and get mad and say what he got to say to the kid, and the kid can end up moving along and do what he got to do. I want to challenge people, though, off topic a little bit, to stop looking at athletes as kids or as someone less than, not as entertainment or something to be played with or toyed with. I want you to start looking at these people as, assets. If you talk about generational wealth, this, for example, talking about the African-American community, you got to realize every year there's about 400 to 500 overnight thousandaires and millionaires. They are going broke 2 years after they get their money because of that free education that they got and the people that are around them during that free education. Their agents, their homeboys, sometimes their family, definitely the university. There are athletes every day of the week that turn around, and I say this to you, and I mean this sincerely. Do not let the university separate you from your kid. Do not let the coaches turn around and say, well, your coach, your mama or your daddy can't play for you. The fact of the matter is, when people, and I read something today when somebody said something about attitudes and coaches don't like this, they don't like this, they don't like this, they don't like that. Well, I wouldn't like it too, but at the end of the day, the athlete pays your salary. The athlete, the player, is the reason why you're employed. No one is paying you to coach yourself. Everybody can't play sports. So people that got an issue about how athletes getting paid need to check the books and the numbers. Again, when you go to work tomorrow, if they told you you're going to go do a training and you're not going to get paid for it, you're going to be upset. Then they can say your entire job is we teach you how to do this job. You're not doing the job the way we want you. We're going to teach you and train you. We're not going to pay you. Because when you get this education at work, you're going to feel so much better about yourself, how you learn so much working for our company as they generate millions and billions. Because they're 17 years old or 16 or 15 or 14 or 20 does not mean you can disrespect them like that. That's why we got our business model. That's why we have attorneys and law firms, because at the end of the day, there's a thing called child labor law. When these kids all of a sudden now are supposed to be practicing for 20 hours a week, but they come to find out they've been practicing 40 to 50, and then you wonder why they got concussions. You wonder why they can't pass their grades. You wonder why they're not really learning nothing. Then you know why they put them in the actual entrepreneurial health and exercise science class. I'm a former collegiate, high school, professional athlete. The way I conduct myself, the way I speak, the way I portray myself is very, very important. So the athletes that come after me, including my clients, can see what professionalism looks like. I don't need a 40-year-old man in college telling me what type of rappers he know. I don't need someone to come into my living room and basically show me all their rings of what they done. I don't even come and tell me their life story about their great grandmama and how they got to where they at today. What I need is them to teach me and my son or my daughter how to operate within your system to maximize my ability as an athlete while I still can. If that means professionally, so be it. If that doesn't mean that, so be it. But I need honest answers. Because I can tell you right now, if they hired us, you won't get anywhere. If you're wondering why your recruiting numbers are dropping, again, pay attention when you get the answers to the test. I make no apologies. I'm not interested in seeing your championship banners. I'm not interested in seeing you throw up hats and t-shirts and smile and watch confetti drop. To the return of your investment of the kid to get hats and t-shirts and rings and bruises and headaches and CTE and broken bones, so someone else who don't have the education that they want these kids to get, nobody talks about that. There's a lot of coaches coaching right now that got degrees that can't complete a full sentence. I would love to go on my phone right now and show you an actual correspondence between someone. But if I did that, you wouldn't know what it said because it's not nothing spelled like ye, Y-E-E, boye, B-O-Y-E-E. You know what I mean? I'm talking about educator / coach. How you correspond, how you basically articulate, how you interact with young and up-and-coming professionals that are there to get free educations. Maybe you cut Mark Emmert's salary down from $10 million and get some coaches in there that actually know what these kids need to do on and off the field. Then we can take a different approach. But we're not there right now because there's too many runners. And like I said before, too many different people out there that want the athlete to be something to them. But what they want to be to the athlete. I do this every week. I thank Mr. Ricky Hampton, Mr. Michael Robinson for allowing me to give this platform. And I started to do this platform simply because I realized that even though I'm doing business and I'm fine and I'm doing okay, this is bigger than me. People need to be educated. People need to basically be able to advocate for themselves and feel empowered in what they do. And as I looked around before I even created this company, why I created this company, that there's so many coaches that's on this actual platform, whether it's Facebook or any social media. And I welcome anyone who wants to sit there and have a professional debate about what I'm saying. But I can assure you they don't want to do that. I can assure you ESPN or First Things First, or these guys do not want to have me having a professional conversation about what goes on and off the field pertaining to athletes. And then when I turn around and ask them, why are you being compensated for what you do? Who is the reason why your check is being paid? And when they tell you an athlete, then I turn around and ask them, well, what are you doing to educate and empower and protect that athlete? It'll be silence. So I'm going to leave that topic alone because I want to get to a couple more topics regarding Khawi Leonard and Dez Bryant and show the comparisons of how, again, in sports, that people look at these athletes a certain way. So once again, I mentioned how the NBA and their salaries are a lot different than the NFL's. NBA's are guaranteed, and the NFL's are not. Dez Bryant was recently released from the Dallas Cowboys, 8 years, NFL veteran. Come to find out, again, also Mr. Dez Bryant is also volatile off the field sometimes and says things and does things at the end of the day that I don't necessarily condone, but at the end of the day, he hasn't been in trouble for many, many, many years, and I condone him from that for putting himself in the right path. So this is not a critique, but it's about displaying certain things. Then you have Khawi Leonard, who's injured, who's a San Antonio top 5 player in the National Basketball Association, where his own teammates wanted to critique him about not playing in the playoffs when he's injured and not feeling the way he needs to. Now, again, Mr. Khawi Leonard is looking at a $200 million contract if he's healthy and when he's healthy, basically at the end of this season. Dez Bryant just got cut with 2 years remaining on his 5-year, $70 million contract that he signed about 3 years ago. Dez says it's personal, tells the whole world it's personal. He says that he's going to go now after 8 years to hire a wide receiver coach. Once again, this is sports is not a game, it's all business. If you're in the sport, you need to basically conduct yourself as a professional at all times. Because once again, as you get older, your body does not respond the way it is, and you will get cut. It don't matter how close you are with the owner, doesn't matter how much they like you, doesn't matter how your alumni is, it doesn't matter about anything. It's about production. Khawi Leonard, however, hasn't said anything and has been attacked by his actual teammates, sometimes the media. So a different approach. Dez says it's personal, he's loud, let everybody know. Khawi keeps it to himself. Dez Bryant gets cut, trying to find another team. Khawi says nothing. He's about to cash in with $200 million. In sports, people are going to talk. Let them talk. 'Cause like I said again, those who don't understand, this is an entertainment for most. This is a way of life for thousands and entertainment for trillions. So that's why I started my business, because I understand the thousands do not have representation. The thousands don't have someone advocating for them. If Dez Bryant, who has signed with his agency, and again, if you don't know what his agency is, he'll tell you, because once again, the agency makes sure he tell you more about what he got going on, who he works with, versus him going and getting a wide receiver coach to keep him ready to play. When those agencies are supposed to actually be teaching them how to be better and be good at what they do. But it don't work that way. That's what the media, that's what the agencies want you to make you believe. The point of the matter is, invest in yourself, not the industry. Dez signed a contract that he didn't really understand based off what someone else may have said, and now he's hurt personally. Khawi Leonard has been talked about personally, staying to himself, minding his business, handling himself professionally, and it's going to result in $200 million. Simple. Generational wealth, maturity, character development, transition succession. Khawi is younger, appears to be more mature. So again, you are who you surround yourself with. Dez Bryant is 30 years old, been in Dallas for many, many years. Dez came in one way. He didn't get in trouble as much, like I said before, but his attitude and disposition hasn't really changed. Now, when it comes to football, once again, your production is what matters. We talked about Colin Kaepernick a little while ago taking a knee, but again, it was his right. The NFL says it's a business. They don't want it. That's fine. And yes, they do have people in the NFL that are athletes that do all types of things that should not be happening. At the end of the day, I wish they would take a harder stance regarding some of these things pertaining to athletes off the field. I wish they would take a harder stance on those versus finding guys for their socks and all of a sudden a face mask. So he grabbed the face mask by accident. It's $9,000 and it's $15,000 next time. You're taking these money that these kids can't get back. A lot of things you never see it here on TV. I hope this actual show continues to grow and people can start to subscribe or look in and follow us again at the Players Rep 1 on Instagram, the Players Rep 1 on Twitter. You can also find me, Robert T. Green, on YouTube. And you can subscribe to the channel where we do the replays for these actual show. Sports is not a game. Sports is all business. Presented by the African American Athlete, hosted by Ricky Hampton. This is the pre-post game podcast. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, my mantra is to educate and empower, protect. So every time you come in every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., God willing, I make it to the next one. My job is to educate and protect the athlete and the family's best interests alone. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And like I said, next week we got the NFL draft, I believe. So again, we'll do some recaps on that. Just again, on the record, Lamar Jackson will be a first-round pick. If he is not, I will break it down why, but I seriously do not see that happening. And then I'll go back and say who. You guys take care. God bless.